One of the difficult challenges that we face as a nation and that um, our children will face as Israelites, especially in the world that we find ourselves living in the society that we find ourselves living in, um, is the fact that we are now in the time where everything, and I'm going to say, when I say everything, I know that's a wide brush, but 99% of everything in the world is backwards and upside down. And so to try to raise kings according to the Torah and to raise queens according to the Torah, um, it it's obvious that we're going to need some help, and it's difficult to get help in a time where, when you try to talk to people, you will swiftly discover that we are in the days when that which is right or correct is now being called that which is wrong by everybody in this wicked society. That which is true is now being called by everybody a lie. And the things that are wrong based on Torah, the world is now saying, and everybody's now saying, those things are right. And the things that are bad, we are now in the days where people are calling those things good. I'll get into this a little bit deeper in this study, but the path that is the straight path, or biblically you would use the word the righteous path, is now being considered, or now people believe that the righteous path is a wrong path. And then the average people believe that the wrong path is the righteous path. And so it's going to be difficult for our sons and our daughters to walk in the path of a king, or walk in the righteous path of a king or queen, when that righteous path is now being called wrong, and the good is now being called bad, and things that are natural, people believe, are now unnatural, and the things that are unnatural, this world is trying to force everyone to believe that that which is unnatural is the natural. And we were warned about these times, Zion. We were warned that these days would come. Let's look at Isaiah for a moment. Let's go over to the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, and we're going to look at verse 20. Woe unto them that call, now watch this, evil good. Didn't I just say? So now this woe literally means to be judged and condemned, or what we would say, damned. So this woe is not just a word. It's a Hebraic expression that represents this particular person's soul will be judged, and then of course they will be thrown into hell. That's what woe means when you see it in the text. So woe unto them that call evil, which is ra. We'll get to that in a second. Which is dysfunction. Good, which is tov, which is function. And the same goes for if you flip it. So it's bad to call that which is evil good, but it's also woe, a terrible thing to call good that which is actually good, to call it evil. And of course, that's the day we live in. We live in a time when everything that is good is called bad. That which is bad or evil is called good. Oh, and by the way, if you notice that the opposite of good in the Bible is not bad. The opposite of good in the Bible is evil, or ra, because it's function and dysfunction. Now he says, so remember, the woe unto them that, and we got called evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Okay, so now we see that it is a woe or a pronouncement of judgment upon the people who put forth the teachings of darkness, because that's really what that means. Who put forth the teachings of darkness. And in our study, we're gonna get to that. I don't think we'll get to it in this short video, but in our study, we're gonna see that any teaching that goes against the teaching of Torah is considered to be dark teachings or darkness. And any teachings that fall in line with Torah is considered light. It represents that which is illuminating, that which enables you to see. Now watch what he says. So woe unto them that put darkness for light. They teach darkness, but they teach it as though they are teaching light. And light for darkness. So then when we come and teach the Torah, they say, no, you don't teach Torah. Torah has been done away with. And what they're really saying is that the teachings of the Torah is darkness. And the teaching of man's way of doing things, which is, of course, found in all the world religions, Christianity being the #1 world religion of today, all of that man-made stuff, they teach it as light. That which is of the Torah, they teach it as darkness. And then they say that the teaching of the Torah is the teaching that needs to be done away with. But their teaching, which they want to call light, which is really darkness, they want to say the teaching of the Torah is ra. And then it says, of course, you use the same line, one to them that call bitter, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. You see that? In other words, now we have the situation of the condition of the life, or condition of the heart of a person. The condition of the living part of life. So here Isaiah is warning us that there will come a time when the life of bitterness, which is the life of anguish, the life of guilt, the life of depression, the life of what they use now, the life that's full of trauma, the life that is rattled with lawlessness, and that the life that is connected to the underworld, the life that is ghetto. And when I say ghetto, I don't mean just a place of poor people. I'm talking about the condition of the mind and the condition that comes out of that. That is somehow being given to us as life. Like you got to go to prison to experience life. Like, oh, you gotta be hood to experience life. Oh, you gotta know how to. You gotta know how to be slick and eat. See, that's a bitter, terrible life. But unfortunately, we have people who are pushing that life as our life. Listen to me, Zion, and you future kings and queens. Our life is not that life. Our life was honestly made and designed by Yah to be a life that is sweet, not bitter. A life that is palatable. A life that is livable. A life that is full of shalom, which is, of course, wellness and wholeness, that has proper balance. And a life, when we use the idea of bitter for sweet, so you reject the bitter, but you're supposed to receive the sweet. All right? But we got people teaching that the bitter is the sweet, and the sweet is the bitter. Woe unto them. Verse 21, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. And what does that mean? As young kings and queens, be careful of people who are always talking about, this is how I see it. And then you say to them, well, that's not what the Torah says. And they say, well, the Bible can't speak to every situation. Yes, it can. And yes, it does. I want to bring this out before I get to my next message in the Raising Kings and Queens series in Proverbs, because I believe that by laying this down as a foundation, it's going to help us when we look at the evil man and the strange woman, which is my next lessons that will be coming up. Verse 22, woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine. In other words, watch out for those people who are always loaded. And all they want to talk about is how much dope they can do, how much wine they can drink, how much liquor they can consume, how high they can get. These are, that type of a lifestyle is not for you, Israel. It is not for you, king, and it's not for you, queen. Matter of fact, there is a woe connected to them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength, men of strength to mingle strong drink. That's that glutton. That's that alcoholic. And that's all they talk about. You gotta be careful about that. Zion. Verse 23. Which justified the wicked for reward. So why is Isaiah warning us about this? About a person that's willing to justify the wicked. Oh man, this time is going so fast. But the justification of the wicked is not just one of the sins of the courts today. Because, oh my, that's sure enough what happens in court. Here in the United Snakes of America, in the Valley of the Shadow of Death, it happens all the time, especially against you and me, Zion. But here you also have with it the idea that because the wicked oftentimes have money and power and wealth and influence, you will have some people who will go along with wickedness and will justify, in other words, try to make the wicked right just because it will give them some type of personal gain. And as a king and as a queen in Israel, we cannot get drawn into that cesspool kind of lifestyle. Do you hear me, Zion? Do you hear me, you future kings and queens? Just because somebody can rap and spit in a microphone and be saying all manner of wickedness, just because they got money, you're not supposed to be talking and saying, well, you know what, he do got a point. I mean, no, you don't justify the wickedness of this world in order to try to advance your case. Not as a king, not as a queen. Now, if you're a scrub, that's on you. But if you're a king or a queen, you have to have principles and you cannot be moved off of your principles simply for money. Let's read that again. Which justify the wicked for reward. Now, what else do they do? And take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. What? They'll say, the person that's right, they'll say, oh, he's wrong. He's evil. Why? Because the person with money done slid you something. The wicked, the evil person, he done lined your pockets a little. He done increased the size of your wallet a little smidget. That's what you say in the country. So now you're all on the side of the wicked, and he'll say, now I want you to testify against this righteous man. Now listen, many people do it, and they'll say it's all about the money. But you can't do it, king. And you cannot do this, queen. All right. Verse 24. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, so that their rottenness. Let me read that again. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away what? The Torah, the instructions of the very laws of Yah of armies. So anytime there is a casting away of the Torah, which is the instructions, which is this Bible, by the way, whenever this is cast away, there will be death connected to that. The people who have chosen their own way and went, woo, Abba Yah, let me do this next lesson in Raising King and Queen series, we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt who these people are. They cast away the law, talking about the law been done away with, of Yahuwah of hosts, and despise the word of the Holy One of Israel. Did what? Despise the word. Did what? Despise the word. They did what? He said, yeah, we don't have to. This over. It's done away with. Let's read this one time. Verse 25. Therefore is the anger of Yahuwah kindled against his people. That's what brings the judgment. And he has stretched forth his hand against them. That's Yah's judgment against his people. That's what happened to us, by the way. And that's why I'm putting out these videos, hopefully to the next generation that's going to find these videos. It cannot happen to y'all. He has stretched forth his hand against them and have smitten them. And the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. In other words, woe unto the wicked that are flipping everything. Yah is never going to be good with that. Yah is never going to be like, okay, I'm just going to go along with everybody. No. But what he does do, because you're going to be punished for that. But according to Isaiah, he would still have his hand out, though, reaching out to those who would be willing to turn. All right? So I wanted to give you that background so that when we look at the evil man, according to the Bible, and the strange woman, you will see why they are so dangerous when it comes to the life of the future kings and queens. Because they have one goal, and that is to pull them off the righteous path, so that they will have to suffer the wrath of Yah. And so as kings and queens, that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to ignore those people. And we're supposed to keep the Torah and walk in his ways and experience the wonderful life of shalom that he promised to give us. Our King's last major promise to us before he stepped on a cloud and ascended back to the right hand of power. He said, my shalom I give to you. My shalom I'm going to leave with you. Not as the way the world does. That's not real. But what I'm giving you is real shalom. Why? Because that is what you're going to need to be kept in the world that is so crooked and upside down and dysfunctional. So that's how we want to walk, Zion. We want to walk in shalom. And we want to ignore the evil man and stay away from that strange woman. Hallelujah. 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 Shalom. And as always, if these messages are encouraging and helping you in your walk, and if you believe that this ministry and these messages and this work for the kingdom is worthwhile, then I would ask that you would support this work. Pray and ask Abba Yah, what can you do to help us continue to do what he's called us to do? Also, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can share these videos. What else? And if you want to be notified, you know what to do. Hit the bell. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about woe unto them, because this world is always trying to flip and change that which is tov, which is righteous, into that which is Ra. Don't let them do it to you, Zion. Stay true to Yah, to the Torah, and to our King. Shalom, shalom.